Hi, remember me? I guess you don't remember me. I'm Frank Ritchie. I wrote a few books about the New York Mafia. This is my first book, Catering to the Mob, Growing Up in Bath Beach. It has 21 recipes. The name of the restaurant was Via Appia, the Appian Way in Rome. I'm going to tell you a funny story. This really happened, and I think you'll find it amusing. On the other side of the coin, it was me, the caterer, who almost got himself killed because the party didn't go the way it was supposed to. So I hope you enjoy the story. It's a true story. It really happened, and I think you're going to find it interesting. Okay, here's what happened. The guys that I knew that were, quote, allegedly in this mafia, whatever that means, I don't know. They used to like investments in catering halls, funeral parlors, pizzerias. These are the things that they like to invest in because it was a lot of cash. That's what they really liked, the cash. Okay, so we had some wise guys came to our restaurant. It was located in Bath Beach on 86th Street in Bay 10. It was around the corner, a beautiful restaurant, tablecloths, linen napkins. It was not a pizzeria. So this wise guy shows up, two of them, not one, two guys, with the pinky ring, the shirt, with the collar open, the gold chain with the cross, the typical uniform they all wore. Comes in, he says, "Hi," he says, "I'm so-and-so." He says, "I need to speak to the chef." I said, "What is this about?" He says, "Oh, we got a problem." I said, "What do you mean you got a problem? What's the problem?" He says, "Well, let the chef come out, I'll explain it to him." I said, "Okay, fine." So the chef comes out, we sit at a table in the restaurant, there was nobody there. It was the afternoon, we're only open for dinner. So I said, "So what's the problem?" He says, "We built a catering hall, we call it the Carolinas, on Avenue U, which is a good distance away from where the restaurant was." He said, "We did not get the Board of Health license and we cannot cook the food in the kitchen of the catering hall because we don't have all the permits." He said, I named the catering hall the Carolina because his daughter's name was Carolina. That was his daughter's name, and that was the name of the catering hall. And it was very ornate. It had a lot of red flocked paper and gold trim valances over the windows and a big chandelier in the middle of the room. So, okay, fine. So we get to the kitchen, my chef and I, a couple of days before the party, and we looked at everything. We said, okay. So we work out the menu. So my partner, Jack, he's the chef, and he says to me, "All right, you know what we're going to do? We'll come in, we'll do the whole thing. We'll do the appetizer, the main course, blah, blah, blah." And then as something's different, he says, "We want to do Cherries, flaming Cherries Jubilee." So I looked at Jack, I said to myself, how the hell are we going to do this? I don't know how to do this. So Jack says, "Don't worry, I know how to do this." Okay, fine. So the guys, we made a deal on the price and everything. So fine, no problem. So we get to the catering hall, the day of the event. And Jack was about my height, 5'7", but he was a roly-poly. He was a real fat, heavy guy. He must have weighed 300 pounds. He always smoked a cigar. You're not supposed to smoke in a kitchen, but he did. So he would get on the table, on a stainless steel table, in front of the door going into the catering hall. And the idea was the waiters would hold the tray on their shoulder with these fluted glasses. They were plastic, fluted plastic glass filled with vanilla ice cream. And then on the top, there would be Cherries Jubilee with a little alcohol. So Jack would be standing up, and he would have like one of those things you light a fire with, and he would light the flame on the Cherries Jubilee, and then we'd go out into the dining room. So all the waiters were lined up. The shortest guy was in the front, and then there was the next guy behind him. It was 5 waiters. So the maitre d', who was Jack D'Angelo's cousin, he gets out, "Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to introduce tonight for the first time in the Carolina Catering Hall, Cherries Jubilee." They turn off all the lights, and the band starts playing, fast-paced music. I open the door, and the waiters start coming into the dining room with the tray on their shoulder with the flames on top of the ice cream. Mike, who was the first guy, he was shorter than me. He was very fastidious. He was always combing his hair, always playing with his mustache. He was always very particular about the way he looked. He's first, and then the next guy behind him. They go into the dining room. When they designed the air conditioning, they had the air conditioning vent right in front of the door to the kitchen, which nobody realized. So when Mike goes out, the guy behind him, the music's playing, the room is pitch black. The flames from the Cherries Jubilee were affected by the wind coming out of the air conditioning, and the flame shifted, and Mike's hair caught on fire. So the guy behind Mike says, Mike, your hair's on fire, your hair's on fire. Mike goes like this. He takes the tray and he throws it up in the air, and he's patting his head to stop the hair from burning. So the people sitting there, the 225 people sitting there, they thought it was part of the show. They go, oh, everybody's clapping, oh, it's fantastic. They figured that the flames going up in the air was part of the show. When they turned the lights on, there was ice cream all over the dance floor, and there was no more Cherries Jubilee. I thought that the two guys that set up this catering hall were going to come in the kitchen and shoot the both of us. So we mopped it up, and that was the story. We never had any dessert. Thank you for listening.